Welcome to our shocking countdown of the top 10 cities that may be underwater by 2030. Some of these cities might surprise you, but they're all facing an uncertain future. With rising seas, subsidence, and intensifying storms, these iconic locations could be sinking fast. So grab your life jackets, hit that like button, and make sure to subscribe for more eye-opening content. Don't miss this journey through time and tide as we explore which places may disappear below sea level first. Now, let's get started. Number 10. Savannah, Georgia, isn't just known for its antebellum architecture and beautiful riverfront. It's also quietly slipping downward each year. Nestled along the southeastern coast of the United States, Savannah's close proximity to the sea leaves it vulnerable to rising tides. And with a sinking rate of approximately 2.3 centimeters annually, its historical districts may face regular high tide flooding by the end of the decade. Did you know? Savannah's past is marked by flooding episodes, like the devastating Hurricane Matthew in 2016, which saw parts of the city submerged under several feet of water. Why is Savannah sinking? The combination of natural subsidence due to Savannah's river delta location and the weight of urban development has slowly but surely tilted the city towards the Atlantic. Additionally, frequent hurricanes and strong storm surges have intensified the erosion of Savannah's coastline. Forecasts suggest sea levels in Savannah may rise by as much as 20 centimeters by 2030. A figure that seems modest until you consider the damage even a few centimeters of water can cause to a city unprepared for routine flooding. 15% of Savannah's historic areas could become semi-permanently flooded if these trends continue. Imagine strolling through Savannah's historic squares and suddenly feeling the Atlantic lapping at your feet. It may become a daily reality if tides keep rising. Number 9. Miami, USA. The shimmering beaches of Miami draw millions of visitors each year. But few realize that beneath the city's glitz and glamour, it's sinking, and fast. The subsidence here combines with Miami's porous limestone foundation, which actually allows seawater to seep in from beneath. With a sinking rate of 2.5 centimeters per year, the city is gradually being pushed down, and rising seas are creeping ever closer to turning Miami into America's Atlantis. Did you know? In 2019, king tides flooded some parts of Miami, submerging parking lots and roads. Scientists project that by 2030, up to 20% of Miami's land could be at high risk of frequent flooding. Factors fueling Miami's sinking. Climate change plays a starring role in Miami's sinking tale, leading to increased high tides, more powerful hurricanes, and stronger storm surges. Hurricane Irma in 2017 was a stark reminder, sending waves across Miami's streets, leaving hundreds of millions of dollars in damage. The city is trying to protect itself with seawalls and pumping systems, but the cost could exceed $4 billion annually. By 2030, more than a fifth of Miami's coastal areas may experience semi-permanent flooding, posing major challenges for its tourism and real estate industries. Number 8. Lagos, Nigeria. Lagos is Africa's largest city, with a population of over 14 million. But beneath its bustling markets and high-rise buildings, Lagos is losing ground. It's currently sinking at a rate of 2.8 centimeters per year due to both natural and man-made factors, with predictions of a 30 to 35 centimeters sea level rise by 2030. Did you know? Lagos endured devastating floods in 2020, which displaced thousands and caused damage estimated at $6 billion. Why Lagos is sinking? Lagos's troubles start with its location on the coast of the Atlantic Ocean. The combination of groundwater extraction, rampant coastal erosion, and weighty urban structures all contribute to Lagos's sinking. The city's rapid population growth has led to over-extraction of groundwater, further destabilizing the ground. Coastal erosion chips away at the shore, leaving 70% of Lagos's land vulnerable to sea encroachment. By 2030, as much as 30% of the city's area could be flooded during peak tides, putting 1.5 million people at risk of displacement. Number 7. Alexandria, Egypt. Alexandria, Egypt's historical gem on the Mediterranean Sea, is a city with a long legacy dating back over 2 millennia. Today, Alexandria faces a sinking rate of 2.9 centimeters annually. Rising tides and land subsidence have joined forces to create a dire situation where 30% of Alexandria's coastline could be submerged by 2030. Did you know? Alexandria is one of the world's most vulnerable cities to sea level rise due to its position on the Nile Delta. Some experts forecast that up to 40 centimeters of water could cover Alexandria's coastline by 2030. What's sinking Alexandria? The Nile Delta is naturally subsiding, but upstream dam construction has reduced the silt that once replenished the delta's foundations, weakening the ground. Combined with urban development and sediment compaction, the city is losing ground at a rapid pace. Intense storms and rising sea levels mean that Alexandria's historic sites and neighborhoods may be at risk, putting thousands of years of history on the line. The estimated cost of mitigation efforts could soar to billions, with a forecasted impact on 15% of Egypt's economy centered in Alexandria. Number 6. New Orleans, USA. New Orleans is a city that knows floods all too well. Sitting below sea level, the city is sinking at around 3 centimeters annually. Since Hurricane Katrina in 2005, land subsidence has only worsened, as the city relies heavily on levees and floodwalls to keep the waters of the Mississippi River and Lake Pontchartrain at bay. Did you know? New Orleans has lost nearly 1,900 square miles of coastal wetlands since the 1930s, which once acted as a natural barrier against hurricanes. Why New Orleans is sinking? New Orleans is sinking for a variety of reasons, including sediment depletion, groundwater extraction, and the natural shift of the Mississippi River Delta. Climate change amplifies these issues, causing stronger hurricanes and more intense storm surges, which have a devastating effect on the city's infrastructure. By 2030, some forecasts estimate sea levels around New Orleans could rise by as much as 40 centimeters, and 30% of its population may need to consider relocation as the risk of permanent flooding grows. Insurance costs are predicted to rise by 80%, making the city's future financially unsustainable. Number 5. Venice, Italy. Venice is as unique as it is beautiful, but its beauty comes at a cost. Known as the City of Canals, Venice is already a series of islands, and the threat of it going underwater is real. Currently, Venice is sinking at a rate of 3.2 centimeters per year, making it one of the fastest sinking cities in Europe. Did you know? In 2019, 70% of Venice was submerged after record-breaking floods hit the city. Factors contributing to Venice's sinking. Venice's troubles stem from a combination of subsidence caused by groundwater extraction, rising sea levels from climate change, and sediment depletion. The city sits atop layers of clay and silt, which compress over time, making it more susceptible to sinking. The Mose Project, a system of flood barriers, has cost nearly 5.5 billion euros to protect Venice, but with projections of 50 centimeters of water by 2030, the question remains, will it be enough? Experts predict that if current rates continue, 90% of Venice's historic structures could face water damage in the coming decades. Number 4. Bangkok, Thailand. Bangkok is not just Thailand's capital, it's one of Asia's cultural epicenters. But beneath its bustling streets and glittering temples, Bangkok is slipping at an alarming rate of 3.4 centimeters per year. Built on soft clay, Bangkok's foundation is under immense pressure from skyscrapers, heavy urbanization, and rampant groundwater extraction. Did you know? Bangkok's 2011 flood affected more than 12% of its population, resulting in billions of dollars in damages and weeks of disrupted lives. Why Bangkok faces this threat? Bangkok's sinking is compounded by the city's unique geography and relentless urban expansion. The sheer weight of buildings presses down on the ground, causing riverbank erosion along the Chao Phraya River. With projected sea level rise by 2030, 40% of Bangkok may be below sea level during high tides, making it one of the most at-risk cities globally. Efforts to install flood barriers could cost over $10 billion, yet these defenses will likely need to be expanded within a few decades. Number 3. Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Vietnam's largest city, Ho Chi Minh City, is also among the world's fastest sinking cities, sinking at a rate of 3.6 centimeters per year. Located near the Mekong Delta, this densely populated urban hub faces a combination of intense urbanization, groundwater extraction, and relentless coastal erosion. Did you know? During the 2020 rainy season, over 45% of the city was submerged, with floodwaters reaching depths of over 50 centimeters in some areas. Contributing factors to sinking in Ho Chi Minh City. Vietnam's reliance on the Mekong River for agriculture and water is a double-edged sword. Upstream damming and groundwater extraction have worsened subsidence, causing severe compression of the soil layers beneath the city. By 2030, more than half of Ho Chi Minh City's land could experience regular flooding, affecting over 10 million people and costing $15 billion in damages annually, if infrastructure isn't fortified. Number 2. Dhaka, Bangladesh. Dhaka is a thriving metropolis with over 21 million residents. Yet its position on low-lying land near multiple river systems puts it at risk of sinking 3.8 centimeters per year. Rising river waters combined with Dhaka's sinking rate could make it one of the first cities where flooding becomes a constant daily reality. Did you know? In 2021, a devastating flood submerged nearly 20% of Dhaka's area, affecting millions and causing a humanitarian crisis. Why is Dhaka sinking? Bangladesh's dependence on groundwater for drinking, coupled with the weight of a sprawling population, has led to serious subsidence. Compounded by rising sea levels, up to 60% of Dhaka's area could face routine flooding by 2030. Projections estimate $20 billion in mitigation costs for improved drainage and barrier systems. But experts warn this may only be a short-term solution. Number 1. Shanghai, China. Shanghai, the financial heartbeat of China, also sits on highly compressible soil near the Yangtze River Delta, causing it to sink by an alarming 4 centimeters per year. The combination of rapid urbanization, soil compaction, and groundwater extraction has led to Shanghai's place at the top of our list. Did you know? Shanghai has spent over $10 billion on flood defenses, yet experts predict 20% of the city's land may still face regular flooding by 2030. What makes Shanghai sink so fast? Massive infrastructure projects, skyscrapers, and heavy water extraction all press down on Shanghai's fragile soil layers. Predictions suggest up to 15% of Shanghai's land could be at risk of submersion by 2030, and tens of thousands may need relocation if flood defenses prove inadequate. Shanghai's fate is a reminder that even the most advanced cities are not immune to the forces of nature. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the world's sinking cities. If you found this exploration eye-opening, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts on the potential solutions for these cities. Climate change, urban growth, and rising sea levels are issues that affect us all. Let's stay engaged, informed, and hopeful. Thanks for watching.